Now, in this video, we will going to discuss about product life cycle model. So here we have an information core. In this, we have different models which you have, wherein first we need to create, then we have to go for a design, then we need to build on the design, then we need to support on the build, then finally we need to dispose this. So this is our product life cycle model. So once we do that, so first PLM is defined as an integrated information, which is having a driven approach comprised of people, process, practices and technology to all aspects of product life, right from its design and manufacturing to service and disposal of the product. In other words, it is a systematic approach in managing the series of changes a product goes through, right from its design and manufacture to its ultimate retirement or disposal. So that means it is a systematic approach in which it starts from the design, then it comes to manufacturing, and then finally it is for the disposal of the product. That is what is the PLM, product life cycle. The life cycle, it is very similar to our life cycle, wherein we start from the born till to the death. That is this total requirement of the life cycle. Similarly, for a product life cycle also, the product will start from the conceptual to the design and then goes to the design, then it comes to the manufacturing. And after the manufacturing, then we will come to the service. Once it comes to the service, and then it finally goes to the disposal of the product from the company. Then what are all the phases you have in product life cycle management? One is the creation that we have seen here. The first thing is the create. So to do that, which is conceive, plan and specify. So that means whenever we want to develop a product, how do we develop a product? So the development of the product is possible. First we should understand the requirement. Start with the product requirement analysis and planning. That means this conceptualization of the product is based on the idea or requirement of a company, customer, market or regulatory body's viewpoint. So that means whenever we want to develop a product, first it should, whether this product is required in the market or not, we need to analyze. That is what it is, the requirement. It has to be required in the market, then only it is need for the going for the product. So the initial conceptual design work is performed by defining the aesthetics of the product together its main functional aspects. That means whenever the product has to be manufactured, whenever to be developed, the need should be there, and how that product has to function, that has to be that has to be understood very clearly. Then only it goes for the product. You should know the aesthetic appearance. Why? For example, suppose if you have a ladder, that means a ladder made of a certain material and to a certain height, must be light in weight, because these are all the aesthetics, light in weight, and withstand suitable weight, provide safety and easy to handle and store. So these are all the functional aspects of the product. So that you should have, suppose if you want to design a ladder or to fabricate a ladder, if you make a ladder and it is not possible to transport very easily, we require about 5 to 10 people to lift that ladder, then there is the whole conceptual development of the product is been defeated. So that means we need to understand what is the functionality of the product. So that is the main requirement. And also it should be very easily handled and you should not have any complications. It must ensure that all the components that make up the product are fully defined accordingly. Then in the second case, we need, say, the next step is the design. So that means once you go for the creation, next we go for the design of the product. So to do that, define, test and validate. These are the main activities which is performed in the design. So the product design is based on the conceptualization of the product. That is it from the creation. What is conceptualization? That means we need to know whether the product is required, which is to be assessed in the market. Once you do that, then we should know what is the aesthetic appearance of the product and also the functionality of the product. And once you have that conceptualization, then we should come to the design. It takes into account the details of how the product will perform its intended functions in an efficient, safe and reliable manner. Once you do that, then the detailed design and development of the product starts. And all the components that make up the product are fully defined in mathematical based model or CAD specifications. This is what we do in the design. That means the detailed designing, in the sense that we have undergone, we have used the computer aided modeling, which is the machine drawing, wherein what we have done, we have taken the parts of the model. We have taken the different parts, model those different parts and goes for the assembly and did the assembly, and then we took the drawing out, and this is what we have followed. The same thing which will going to be done by here also. But only the extra thing what they do here is they do for the analysis. So that analysis will be done in the next step, that is the testing and validation. So the various simulation tests like computer-aided analysis, computer-aided quality for dimensional tolerance analysis, etc. are carried out to ensure the product really meets the requirement specified during the conceptualization stage. So once the model has been created and they test the model for the analysis, once you do the analysis, and if the analysis satisfies the requirement of the conceptualization requirements, then they go for the computer-aided quality for dimensional tolerance analysis. Like we need to have some fits. All those things which will going to be carried out. Once they are satisfied all these things, then it comes that the design has been approved or through. Then in the next stage, we go for build. What is that? Procure, manufacture and assemble. Here in this case, what we do, the assemble of the parts or everything which will going to be done on virtual. We don't go for the manufacturing here itself. You do the assemble of the parts by using the CAD softwares and checks for the interferences. Once you check for the interferences, then by giving the dimensional tolerance, once you do all those things and everything has been true, then it comes to the build. The design of the product must be analyzed and the material listed in the BOM must be procured. What does it mean? The design of the product must be analyzed and the material listed in the BOM. What is that BOM? Which is nothing but bill of materials. Whenever we do the drawing, once in the assembly drawing, if you go for the parts which has been assembled, then if you ask for the part list, it will going to give the bill of materials. So that must be procured first. Why they do? Basically because to reduce the time of manufacturing. Because once they give the general conceptualization design has been completed, then before going into the detailed drawing, they will go for the bill of materials, give the bill of materials to the shop floor, so that they need to go for the planning. They give it to the planning so that they will go into procure the raw materials. So that itself will going to take some time. That is basically because we need to have a time lag, because the material may not be available in the shop floor. They have to procure the material from outside or from the vendor. So to reduce the time of manufacturing, that is the reason why they give the bill of materials. Then it comes with the bill of process, that is BOP, must be developed to specify the various operations that are to be carried out in order to manufacture the desired part. This will going to be done by using the planning department bill of process. That means on a particular part, what are all the processes which need to be carried out, and how, is there any complicated operations which is to be performed on that particular part. All those things which will going to be analyzed, and if the complicated process has to be carried out, is it we required to have special jigs and fixtures which is required, or special fixture design is required. All those things which will going to be analyzed in bill of process, and this will going to be done by the planning department. And once they do the process, and they will going to analyze what will going to be the time taken for the individual part to be manufactured. Based on that, they will going to analyze or allocate the parts on the machine. Once you do that, after the components are manufactured, their geometrical form and size are checked and verified as per the design specification. So after the components are manufactured, then it will go for the inspection. So in that inspection, they will going to check and verify as the part has been manufactured as per the requirement of the design specification. Once you do that, individual parts, these are all the things which you have done for an individual parts, are then assembled in a sequence. That means the manner in which you need to have an assembly of parts which you have been done for a particular product are assembled in a sequence to develop the complete product. That is what we do in the machine drawing. Also, the same thing will going to be followed here also. So that is the advantage of using this build. So once you do that, then the next phase will going to be support. That means promote, market and sale. That is the disposal of the product. So what does it mean? Because once the product has been manufactured, it is not that it is simply we can sell it to the customer. It is not possible. We need to have a support. What are the support? The promotion. The supporting team initially builds awareness of the product among the potential customers through advertisements, personal demonstrations, or through any other forms of media. That means once the product has been launched, we should give the awareness to the people or the potential customers who will going to utilize it. Say for example, we can go for the washing machine. It's a very simple example wherein the product has been manufactured by the company and the product will come to the market. And once the product has to come to the market, they need to give the advertisement because the customers should be able to get an awareness whether this product is available or not. Similarly, in case of the automobile industry, wherein when they develop the when going to launch the two-wheelers to the market, they need to give the advertisements and they need to give the demonstrations, and they need to give a very good example is for the automobile industry, wherein we purchase for a car, they give for a test ride. That is the personal demonstration. Or through any other forms of media, like you have the advertisement comes on our TVs. Similarly, the role of the supporting team extends to many activities from strategic to tactical skills to promote, market and sell the product. Once you do that, the last part of the core will going to be the service. Once the product has been sold to a particular customer, the problem will not end there. The problem will start from there. So it is the company will not going to be get benefited only by selling the product. the company will going to be get benefited only by doing the service or maintenance. It involves the service and support information for repair and maintenance, as well as waste management or recycling information. This helps customers to increase the length of the product life cycle. If a product reaches end of life sooner than the expected, analysis need to be done in order to prevent such a short life by considering various factors right from the product design, manufacturing, usage and service of the product. What does it mean? Say for example, if I have a product, so I will go to take a product like I want to have a two-wheeler. So they give a life cycle, they give a warranty of about 1 or 2. They will going to give for 2 years. Suddenly, because due to some technical error in the manufacturing of that particular product, the life of that product will going to be reduced. So they say, no, it's not possible. So this is not possible, it won't work out. Then they need to analyze. So if they have a defective in the manufacturing itself, then that will going to be replaced. That they will going to do it. But not only that, because if you have a such sort of defects in more number of products, then they need to analyze what will going to be the problem, what they are facing the problem, that they need to analyze it right from the product design. And is there any problem in the product design, or is there any flaws in the manufacturing, or is there any flaws in the usage? That means the customer who is using it having some usage, and also is there any technical flaws in the service of the product. So they need to ensure. So once you do that, that is how we will be able to get into the product life cycle model. So it starts from the creation, the design, build, support and disposal. Till to the disposal, the product will going to be monitored very, very closely. This is what is about the product life cycle model. In the next video, we will going to discuss the opportunities and benefits of the PLM. Thank you.